It's Monday, April 14. In the headlines, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is calling for renewed ambition and investment in people. In business news, farmers to receive financial literacy support. Regionally, in Barbados, a member of parliament urges parental action amid crime concerns. And in sports, the Jamaica Olympic Association is investing $5 million in a boxing gym. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is urging a bold new direction for Jamaica's outsourcing and global services sectors. Speaking at the recent opening of the 2025 Outsourced Jamaica Conference in Montego Bay, St. James, he called for renewed ambition and investment in people, technology, and infrastructure.
To our investors and partners, Jamaica is open for your business and open for partnership. To our young people, this industry is yours. Seize the moment. Let us move forward together, driving excellence, transforming Jamaica, and leaving no one behind.
The Prime Minister outlined a multi-pronged strategy at the 2025 Outsourced Jamaica Conference. His focus: workforce development, digital transformation, and stronger infrastructure. A key part of that strategy is ensuring Jamaicans are trained for the jobs of tomorrow and equipped to meet the demands of the fast-evolving global services sector.
The work of our national training agency, the Heart Trust NSTA, the Global Services Skills Council, and our digital literacy and skills programs have been instrumental in creating a steady pipeline of talent, not only for traditional outsourcing, but for fintech, cybersecurity, software engineering, and data analytics. We are investing heavily in skills development.
Kingston Gateway Commercial and Warehouse Complex is being touted as a major new development in the heart of Kingston. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony recently, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness said the project signals growing investor confidence in the country's future. Situated at 221-223 Marcus Garvey Drive within Kingston's bustling industrial corridor, the project will feature 21 warehouses offering 112,000 square feet of rentable space built to global standards.
Proximity to the port of Kingston, a mere few minutes from the Norman Manley International Airport. This facility places its tenants at the very nerve center of Jamaica's trade infrastructure. This is a development that makes sense economically, spatially, and strategically.
The development is a vision of SAJE Logistics Infrastructure Limited and Proven Properties Limited. Prime Minister Holness says the move is an example of what Jamaican businesses can achieve by uniting their strengths.
Marry logistics with real estate expertise and invest boldly in our development potential. Kingston Gateway, situated strategically at the entrance to Port Bustamante, is not only about concrete, steel, and glass. It is about connectivity. It is about enabling commerce. It is about unlocking value.
The Prime Minister says the facility places its tenants at the center of Jamaica's trade infrastructure, adding that it plays into his administration's strategy to develop macroeconomic stability, facilitating increased investor confidence.
Both local and foreign. Today, projects like Kingston Gateway are not exceptions. They are becoming the norm. And let me be clear, it did not happen by accident. It was by deliberate, instrumental, strategic, well thought out actions. Our administration has
The Norman Manley International Airport has been officially certified as a regulated aerodrome. Director General of the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority, Nari Williams-Singh, made the announcement at the recent certification ceremony at the corporate office in Kingston. He says this is a milestone in Jamaica's aviation journey. It's a new level of recognition for the Norman Manley International Airport.
This achievement that we are celebrating is not just a technical or an administrative one. It is a symbol, and even more so, an outcome of what actually happens when regulatory guidance, a shared vision, compliance, collaboration, and commitment to align comes to a seamless whole.
The certification comes from the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority and aligns with the international standards set by the International Civil Aviation Organization.
The continued development and certification of our aerodromes, like NMIA, is not an optional endeavor, but rather it is very much essential. Jamaica's aviation sector will continue to embrace innovation and expansion, while encouraging and increasing our standardization to world-class levels, as we look to grow sustainably, enhance international connectivity, and improve our resilience in the face of environmental and global challenges. Facilities like this recently certified Norman Manley International Airport will continue to play a key role in that future.
With certification now in hand, Norman Manley International Airport joins a global network of airports committed to the highest aviation standards. Now for a short weather report. The Meteorological Service of Jamaica has issued a flash flood watch for low-lying and flood-prone areas of St. Mary, Portland, St. Catherine, Clarendon and Manchester, effective until 7 p.m. on Monday. According to the Met Service, a trough across the central and western Caribbean has been generating unstable weather conditions across the island since Friday. Satellite images and rainfall reports indicate that periods of showers and thunderstorms have been affecting mainly eastern and central parishes since Friday. The recent forecast is for periods of showers and thunderstorms, which may be heavy at times, to continue across Jamaica, and especially during the afternoons through to Tuesday evening. A flash flood watch means that flash flooding is possible, and residents are advised to take precautionary measures, keep informed by listening to further releases from the Meteorological Service, and be ready for quick action if flooding is observed or if a warning is issued. The Meteorological Service will continue to monitor this system and update as necessary. Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. The Development Bank of Jamaica has introduced the agricultural sector financial literacy and inclusion capacity building program last week. The $29 million investment is in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture, Jamaica Agricultural Society, and the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, targeting 450 individuals across the island. The Jamaica Stock Exchange DataSphere, which is a flexible, easy-to-use, and reliable source of current and historical financial data, has gone active. Users will be able to customize reports through a secure portal. This information will help users make more strategic, informed decisions in stock picks and generally aid in making better investment decisions. Effective April 8, JSC DataSphere will be transitioning from a free subscription service to a paid subscription service. Customers will have the choice of various product packages at competitive prices to suit their preferences. Senator Norman Grant, chairman of the Jamaica Coffee Exporters Association and chief executive officer and managing director of Mavis Bank Coffee Factory, shares his views on the impact of the current tariff war on the Jamaican coffee industry. Senator, what's going on with tariffs and how much more is this cup of coffee going to cost me?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to broaden my response as president of the Jamaica Coffee Exporters Association.
All right.
Because this is a matter that we're going to be engaging the minister and JACRA about. As I said, we export somewhere in the region of $28 million of coffee to the globe. 70% of this is to Japan, 20% to the USA, and 10% to the rest of the world. The 20% represents about $6 million. The tariff of 10% on coffee going into the USA, which is a major developed market, will mean that it will be more expensive to the consumers on that side. And already our traders and our roasters and our agents are calling us, wanting us to reduce the price of our coffee. If you reduce that price to absorb this 10% tariff, what you will have is a reduction in our selling price to the market and a reduction in the price to our farmers.
Yes.
And we cannot afford this at this time.
How many farmers will that impact? 5,000
farmers, 120,000 farm families. We started the crop with $8,000 a box. We're now paying $11,000 a box. And therefore, we are calling for intervention from the government. For example, a group of the JCA membership, the Jamaica Coffee Exporters Association, we are going off to a coffee specialty show in America, in Texas, to engage the value chain actors, those who export, to see how they can cushion the effect of this 10% tariff. So remember, Denise, Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee is a gourmet, specialty, expensive coffee.
Yes.
It is also a developed market. So those who say that we must shift to other markets, we can't leave a market where a demand exists to go and look for other markets, because markets will take time to develop and it will be more expensive to develop. And therefore we have to find a solution for this market. One of the things that we may be asking the government to do is to remove or reduce the cess or the tax that we pay on coffee export.
Okay.
But we have to do as much as we can to make sure that this excellent demand that is in the USA market, that for Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee, that we continue to supply that market.
And there are, as you said, 120,000 Jamaican farm families who can be impacted negatively by this tariff.
Absolutely.
Yes, all right.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Senator Grant.
My pleasure.
I'm Denise Williams with the Business Report. Enjoy. For the trading period ending April 11, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 6,368,410 units traded, representing 38.36% of market sales volume. Alternative energy provider Wigton Energy Limited with 1,866,491 units traded, representing 11.24% of market sales volume. Investment house Sagicor Select Funds Limited Financial with 1,771,231 units traded, representing 10.67% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rates set by the Bank of Jamaica. On April 11, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $81.78 million purchased and US $73.46 $2.96 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.25 per dollar, selling the US at $158.53 and buying the US at $157.28. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders 81 cents per transaction, with selling at $113.55 and buying at $112.74. The British pound yielded Forex traders $7.84 in profits, with selling at $207.94 and buying at $200.10. For the credit report tip of the day, if buying real estate is part of your wealth plan, your credit score is one of your greatest financial tools. In a market where prices are rising and competition is tight, the ability to access favorable mortgage rates can mean the difference between a profitable investment and a missed opportunity. And it all begins with improving your credit score step by step. Here are a few suggestions. Pull the credit reports from all the bureaus. Know where you stand and identify any errors that may be lowering your credit score. And dispute errors quickly and thoroughly. Even one incorrect late payment or account can drag down your score by 50 or more points. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, in Barbados, there is a renewed call for parents to play a greater role in steering their children away from crime and violence. The appeal comes from a government member of parliament who joined others in a march against crime, following the tragic death of a young teenager in Christchurch. Akeem Plinkett was there and brings this report.
Minister Ford, flanked by other parliamentary colleagues representing neighbouring constituencies, appealed to parents to step up and do a better job. He says that the crime in this country is not in keeping with the Barbadian way and there is a need for an intervention. Mr. Ford wants parents to pay more attention to the activities in which their children engage.
I am now calling out on those parents, and I will say so in an unequivocal way, to take responsibility of their children. And it's simple as that for me. The church can only do so much. The schools can only do so much. The police can't be every single place at every single time. It is for us parents now, when they see things that they know is not the norm, when they are exposed to maladaptive behaviors from their children, to be able to say, my son or my daughter, this is not the way.
Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for Christchurch West and Minister of Planning and Development, Dr. William Dugid, says the country is now hurting due to the death of Jonathan Chase. He has called on the entire nation to consider different ways of conflict resolution to avoid such unfortunate events.
It's time to step back. It's time to find other ways to resolve conflicts. The gun is not the way. Let us resolve conflicts by discussing and coming to a conclusion that which we all can walk away from. And this is a march today to send that message across Barbados that we need to do better throughout this country. We need to do better as a nation, and we all must work together to be able to achieve a better Barbados. This is not the way.
Minister Ford also says that the government will continue to fight the crime surge and gun violence.
This solidarity is within the full scope of the Barbados Labour Party, and as the government of the day, we are saying we are going to work by not only walking in leadership, but in terms of partnership with the people of this country, because this scourge of crime must be not the way how we understand the normal way of Barbadian life. It must not be.
2 people are being questioned by the police in relation to Jonathan's death. Akeem Plinkett, CBC News.
Antigua and Barbuda's Trade Minister E.P. Chet Green is again urging strong, unified regional action as global trade tensions heat up. His latest call follows a controversial move by the Donald Trump administration to slap a 10% baseline tariff on all imports to the United States, a decision that's now under a 90-day pause for higher reciprocal tariffs. Teresa Goodwin has more.
The trade minister says the U.S. president's tariff policies override all previous agreements. He insists that CARICOM leaders need to engage directly with the President Donald Trump's administration to seek special consideration for goods destined for the Caribbean.
We have to consider, CARICOM single market economy is our construct. We have trade agreements with North America, we have trade agreements, EPA with Europe, with the UK. We have all these agreements.
President Donald Trump has announced a 10% baseline tariff on goods imported into the United States. While the 10% baseline tariffs remain in effect for all countries, the U.S. president has since declared a 3-month pause on all reciprocal tariffs. This is in the case except for those targeting China, which now faces a steep 145% import tax on its goods entering the U.S. market. Minister Green is urging the business community and other stakeholders to collaborate with the government to explore alternative ways to source goods.
We should not simply wait for 90 days to see what happens. Within 90 days, we should have already identified alternative sources and can tell the Antigua Barbuda consumer, this is what we're doing. And I say we because, again, there's the notion that it's government. It's not a government issue alone by itself.
The minister notes the region had already begun proactively responding to such challenges through the implementation of CARICOM's 25 by 2025 initiative. This aims to reduce the region's food import bill by 25% by this year through increased regional production and trade.
We now need to go through with some decision made in cabinet of creating and scaling farms, large farms, medium farms, small farms. Have farm education to understand how gluts work and how we can have a rotation of crops and really supply the market adequately with produce.
Minister Green emphasizes that the timing is critical, urging the region to strengthen food security, reduce dependency, and pursue a more self-reliant economic path amid evolving global trading dynamics. Teresa Goodwin, ABS News.
In Trinidad and Tobago, political leader for the People's National Movement, Dr. Keith Rowley, has issued a stern warning to public servants and slammed the newly elected president of the Public Services Association, Felicia Thomas, over comments she made at a UNC platform. Dr. Rowley cautioned that efforts to remove the PNM from office could have serious consequences for thousands of government workers and the country's economy.
As he addressed supporters, political leader of the People's National Movement, Dr. Keith Rowley, issued a warning to public servants and criticizing comments made by recently elected president of the Public Service Association, Felicia Thomas, while speaking on a United National Congress platform recently.
Within hours of being elected, she finds herself on a UNC platform and saying that her primary objective as coming in to be president of the PSA is to remove the PNM from office. Well, let me say here tonight to public servants, wherever you may be, if your president succeeds in removing the PNM from office, many thousands of you will follow that by removing yourself out of your jobs.
Dr. Rowley said their proposal to increase public servants' salary by 10% is a pathway of increased debt for the country.
Once a government comes in and gets on that pathway of making that kind of increase to public servants, the highway has to be labeled two ways. One, you are going to end up at the IMF, the International Monetary Fund station, and you're going to get there by the road called devaluation.
He also criticized the UNC's approach to foreign policy, pointing out that some of its members had labeled individuals within the Venezuelan government partners in Trinidad and Tobago's Dragon gas deal and other cross-border energy projects as criminals.
The UNC recognized a president called Guaido, and you would hear the opposition leader, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, making disparaging terms about Nicolas Maduro, calling him a narco trafficker, and worse, going to the parliament in our country and committing our country to following the policy of the government in Washington.
The former Prime Minister said his replacement, Prime Minister Stuart Young, emerged as a leader early in his tenure as a minister.
In these times, with the difficulties we're facing, we could not have got a better person who knows the road, he knows the ropes, he knows the people, he knows the issue, and he is competent.
Dr. Rowley also encouraged the candidates to put the country before party. Mahalia Joseph Wharton, TTT News.
In sports, we begin in the ring with boxing. The Jamaica Olympic Association has announced a $5 million investment in the development of a national boxing gym, aimed at providing a state-of-the-art training facility for the country's top boxing talent and their coaches. The facility is expected to serve as the cornerstone of preparation for Jamaica's Olympic boxing hopefuls, providing critical resources to elevate the sport locally. President of the Jamaica Boxing Association, Stephen Jones, hailed the move as a transformative step for boxing in the country. JOA President Christopher Samuda emphasized the importance of establishing a dedicated base for athletes. He's quoted saying, "The Olympic gym will be home to those who are motivated to make history with their gloves and leave legacies with their punches." End quote. The investment is part of the JOA's broader strategy to support high-performance sports infrastructure and foster Olympic success across disciplines. On to netball, as Trinidad and Tobago are the new queens of Caribbean youth netball, clinching their first ever Jean-Pierre title with a decisive win over St. Lucia. Their championship run was sealed after a dominant showing against defending champions Barbados in a top-of-the-table showdown at the Wilderley Gym, where they handed their rivals a crushing 39-22 defeat. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
That call there was against Barbados in their goal circle, so they lost that, and Trinidad is on their way. Scores. There's just too much congestion in Barbados circle.
Goalkeeper and goal defense, they're moving too slowly into position. They're going to get the ball when they see it going in the direction, but they're not keeping their eyes on the goal shooter and the goal attack.
Trinidad still have a tremendous amount of space in that goal and that center third, Maureen.
Yes.
Trinidad has gone ahead again.
Because Trinidad scored in it.
Yes.
And there's no way Barbados could get back in seconds now.
That's it.
Well, congratulations.
At the end, congratulations to Trinidad and Tobago. They have
although there's another game,
won the 2025 Jean-Pierre Caribbean Netball Youth Championships.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.